Okay. So, hopefully this makes things a little better. Zio just helped me out, who I suspect is actually James. Because that sounds... I seem to remember that was his Warcraft's name. Ah, World of Warcraft. Those were the days. Shall I give this another run? I really should. Okay, we'll try it. See if it holds up. Okay. It's looking what I'm seeing. Yeah. It'll take time. That's all right. Shrink that down there a little bit. Lock it in place. And then go here. Low memory detected. Ooh, I could do it this time. All right, cool. Okay, we're gonna try some of this. Turn off the Daydream music. Back to Empyrion. And single player, and we'll pick up where we left off. And hopefully, load. Can I go back? I can, yay. All right, chat is now open, excellent connection. Oh. I have a hunch I gotta do the transition. There we go. Excuse me, says the smoker. All right. That goes on. That goes down. All right. And let's turn this. Alexa, resume. Alexa. Volume 2. Well, that's loading. Can I? All right. Oh, good. Okay, we're actually back. See, I need it for the chat, though. I think we're going. It's funny how you put things together a little too late. dismiss the old savings and loan. Well, that's the first thing. Where's my stuff? There's my stuff. See what I gotta do. Somehow I'm gonna have to. I gotta stop looking at that. I can only look at the chat and not look at the pseudo feed. And just trust it's going the way it's supposed to go. A little faith. Little faith. All right. Well, I guess I'm ready to start building. Wood planks 1. How many I got? 550? Yeah, let's do 30 of them. For those who just joined me, my name's Kevin G Nicholson, and this is the Dr. Daydream stream. Like, what, 18 and a half? 19? Well, I'm getting used to this. I think we got the audio problems figured out. I think. And I'm about to build a base in Empyrion Galactic Survival. Okay, I got stuff to work with. First thing is the core. Oh, I need to use the core to build a block. There we go. And start our base block. See? A little time, a little perseverance. Okay, so here's my starter block. Alright. Let's take a look. Where do I want to set up shop? Really, that's level playing field. I think I want to go over there by the ocean. Not the ocean, the lake. Or I could just go to the top of the hill, yeah. Yeah, let's go to the top of the hill. I'll move that stuff later. Alright. %. Oh, good. Dude. Is it you, James? Is your name James? I was contemplating, like, who is this fellow who's helping me out? That name seems familiar. And then I was like, well, my buddy That was your Warcraft name, wasn't it? You still play that too, don't you? Because I see you in the. Thanks, man. You know, that really helped out. I appreciate that. You know, it's like my brain was like going, something you need to remember. No, but I didn't. I was just like, hey, wait a second. Because, you know, I've seen the name, and you're the guy who got me into World of Warcraft in the first place. Much to Steph's dismay. And that was a good game. Well, it was either that or you're going to call yourself out. I'm surprised you don't live stream. You're technological. You got like, I'm sure your computer could beat mine up. But no, that's cool. It's nice to know there's still allies out there, even if they don't talk to me too often. And that was exceedingly helpful. Because the last couple times I went through, I was really couldn't quite figure it out. But until someone kind of bantered with me, I wasn't gonna figure it out. And so I was going back through and just rewatching my old attempts. Oh, maybe this will work. Maybe this will work. Ooh, level 8. All resources improved. You got any favorites? Like, is there anything more entertaining? Because I'm, like, casting here. Because if you've been watching for any length of time, and I figured you were probably in there somewhere, I always kind of felt like you were an ally who, despite everything as it went down. But, yeah, I'm curious on, because I'm leaning this way or that. I love doing the Faire stuff because they're willing to play with me, and they're you know, like they jibby with me. And I've been able to kind of work myself into the canon, which I've enjoyed. Complacent. Right. See, and this is where, if you remember, I am a marijuana smoker, so I'm going to have to do this. Hey, Alexa, define the word complacent. Huh. Nothing wrong, but, you know, honestly, complacent is a nice place to be. Well, I have a lot of... Never have I ever said that I was perfect, but I got very butthurt by that whole thing. It has nothing to do with you. But it was, you know, it was a time. It's taken many years to let it go. Zero sides would be a circle. But no, you can never be zero side. I could never play that way. I mean, I can be, I think you meant ambivalent. Ambivalent is like, one way or the other. You know, it's kind of like saying, well, he never did anything to me. He made me laugh. I always made people laugh. And I never tried to hurt anybody. But I also understand I'm a little hard to take at times. Santa is coming, the lost turtle. The lost turtle is a guy who goes into like old mills and old sanitariums and like decrepit old buildings. And I've been following him for a few years. I've been trying to cast out and find other YouTubers to see if I could kind of collaborate and just see who's doing stuff like around here. And there's I forget his full name, the Preventer Adventurer, and he goes out and he eats at every like pizza joint and restaurant around here in New England. Coney and Exiles. Does it? Oh, here's a question, because I know I could conceivably go back to Warcraft if I wanted to. I got all those characters. I invested so much time into that. But Empyrion it's a pretty game, and it's a good way to kind of, you know, it's a pretty game. In the end, there's, you know, it's, yeah. Yeah, I actually got into, what was it, the pet battles for a little bit, and that was keeping me involved. And I always loved the basin. I loved the PvP. Oh, I'd like to go back. Empyrion? Are you asking? Is Empyrion only first person? All right, you start off naked, but do you have junk? Coney and Exiles, huh? Even better. I like my pixels to be anatomically correct. I'm not sure why. Oh, excuse me. Coney and Exiles, huh? I'm gonna look that up after I'm done this. Although I kind of want to run and see that now. Hey, have you been? I like the way he used the ... dots, and you can mod them to be even more. Maybe I should. I'll take a look at that. I could use a good distraction, a better distraction. I mean, I like this, and I've been playing it forever. But they put weight limits in, and so you get to a certain amount of machinery, and then you can't move anything around without it being a real hubbub. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe it's more realistic, but it's not as much fun. And there's not really a point to this game. It's like build, and then eventually you get to the star cruisers, the command vessels, and then you're like, that's kind of where you've made it. And you're like, and then you can just tier up and get more weapons and stuff. But I mean, unless I think there are other people you can play multiplayer on this, but I haven't tried it. Although if I get a second stick around, then I might. But I don't know if the other game. Where'd you go? I can't do that yet. No, I'll take a look at it though. And now that you got me talking about it, I'm thinking maybe I'll go back to the basin too a couple times. I can probably, is it still 15 a month? I can do it. I can do 15 for a month and do some basin fun. That was a fun game. Old age based. So it's like the start of civilization rather than you're an advanced person crashing on. Oh God, I put so many hours into this. But at the same time, I don't know if I'd recommend it to spend it, despite the fact that I've spent like a year in it. I'm trying to recall the Conan quote. That one soundbite. Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. There it is. You always had you always met the, you always introduced me to the funniest shit back in those days. I love that stuff. Remember the Numa Numa guy? Was that you? No, you were the ning 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 ning. Hear the lamentations of their women. And now Arnold is filling in potholes after being governor. I loved Arnold. Huh. Yeah, so I'll give that a shot. And then I think I'm going to do, I mean, what the hell else am I going to do during the winter? It's going to be video games for the winter because things don't really happen until it stops hurting to go outside. See, that's when the internet seemed to be free. You know what I mean? It was like, there was a little regulation, but it wasn't locked down like it is now. Now I feel like there's maybe 6 sites, and they're all kind of the hub of the internet. Where it's like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I guess YouTube is kind of a social platform. And then we got the streaming services, which are like Netflix and Disney Plus. I have mixed feelings about the Disney empire. Excuse me. Obviously, even the thought of them makes me gassy. Everything is free if you know where to find it. Oh, that's right. So, you're still running PC, right? You're not an Apple guy, right? You're old school. Because there's some software. The Pirate Bay. I used to use that all the time. And then, what was it? I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago, they started tracking my IP, and they ended up sending me letters going, hey, we know you downloaded this, you downloaded that. Wow. So you must have terabytes upon terabytes at this point. I'm pseudo-envious. Oh, my guy's gonna die because I've been busy talking to you. See, and that conversation is better than any video game. See, I got so much stuff, but I don't have 4 terabytes. An SSD. That's solid state or solid standard drive? Solid state drive, right? That means it's kind of like, see, I'm going to use you for an education. It's, no, right, solid state drive. Well, yeah, but it's kind of like a flash disk, right? Right, no disks. It's just the I want to say chemistry, but no, it's. I mean, I have 2 of them in my machine, and I have an external SSD. External? Can I have an external? Yeah, I do. Boy, if I could, there are a couple of hard drives that I'm hoping I can someday repair. It's got a lot of stuff on it. But that's a lot of movies. And so, and you must have a hell of a home entertainment system. This is my entertainment system. Although, you know what? It's, I'm very, very comfortable with, I've been working on this setup. Flash-based memory. Yeah, see? It took me 2 years to get everything to where it's at, where I actually feel like I've got the tools that I need to do the stuff that I want to do. And I'm actually kind of making a little bit of money doing it, which surprises me. Passive income is a thing. It really does happen. Wow. So you really are, you're putting your work to use. You were always the smarter of us. And possibly even the funnier of us, too. Oh, I was up here for a reason. Find a spot. So you're not too far away, are you? You're what, in Dayville, right? Or actually, you're further. I don't know. I don't stalk you guys. I know everyone exists still, but I try to stay in my own quantum universe. Wow. Well, there's some software rips that. Did I? Oh, I should. I don't know if you noticed. When I bumped into TJ a couple years ago, and he ended up going to the Ren Fair with me. Not this past year, but the year before that. He stopped by this year, and he said he was going to get into the YouTubing stuff too. That was. I was surprised. He was very happy to see me. I'm very surprised when anyone's happy to see me. I know I'm a handful at times. Not a handful, acquired taste. It was weird. It was at Maury's, and I'm like, hey, he looks familiar. And then, you don't see someone in the typical environment, and it's just like with you, it's just like, wait, your subconscious works at it, churn. Oh! We hung out quite a bit. But of course, life has its ebb and flow. All right, that's Coca-Cola's done. Look at this. High quality. It's crap. It's utter crap. But it does its job. Oh, I'm like, wow, I'm really high. I mean, in the sky, that is. Yeah, I agree. All right. I am efficient. And I don't cost much money to keep. Cheaper than a pet. Oh, excuse me. Have all those blocks down the hill. Which is where? All right. It's funny because, like, this used to be a bar town at one point, where there was always something going on. Well, they de-weed everybody, and now all the bars are pretty much dead. And they raised the price of everything, so now, like, no one can stay open. How many can I hold? 4. Jesus, this is going to take a while. Yes. Yeah, it's that tool you can, stone, wood, and then you can burrow underground and actually do minerals. Have you ever played, it's very similar to No Man's Sky. And No Man's Sky, oh, wait, I gotta sneeze. Oh, this is gonna be it. It's there, I could feel it. Fall slow, maybe not. All right, we'll see. No Man's Sky was a real cool game. Yeah, I don't feel like they're successful. You see the first anal light parade? It was, they threw some Christmas lights on a couple trucks. I don't know what that means. It had a hard start. Does that mean they had to fight to get into the game system, or? It's been so long since I've had conversations this way. You really think that's it? I don't think it's the drugs. I mean, there are a couple people who are out there, but I'm on the streets, man. On the streets of Dieburg. I mean, you got Silas. And, I mean, I've seen girls with problems, but, yeah. You thought the quality of No Man's Sky was horrible? Or when they started? When No Man's Sky was first released, it had a very bad reputation. When I got to it, it didn't seem too bad. That was another game. I spent a lot of time. I actually have a video up on No Man's Sky somewhere on my site. I believe I posted 1,200 videos on YouTube. 1,200. At first it was like, I'll throw this on, keep it. But now I'm like, I'm so close. I'm this close to monetization. Well, the last time I played, I mean, it was very similar to this. And, you know, you had to build resources and stuff like that. But again, you got to a certain level, and it was like, I think it was more entertaining once you got to a later level on No Man's Sky than on this game, because you could actually interact with NPCs, and there was like just more to do. But then the console went with my most recent ex. And I was like, that's all right, fine, take it. You just go. And I haven't played No Man's Sky since. And I thought about getting it for this, but it looks like I'm going to be doing Conan. The next purchase, unless you get a rip of that. Yeah. No. No, not in the planet terraforming thing. Does No Man's Sky do that? Can you change, like, the atmosphere of planets? That would be cool. Like, I'm not sure how much they've advanced in the last 3 years. It's been 3 years since I played No Man's Sky. I've lost all interest in the game I'm actually playing. Where was I headed? Oh. Oh, there. You mean terraforming in the Star Trek sense, right? We'll turn this gas giant into a Class C. I'm going to have to walk up and down this hill a bunch of times. I suppose I could probably do it with the... No, I can't. I didn't think this out. I didn't think this through. Poor planning on my part. Yeah, you can't do that, though. Like, for example, I'm so reluctant to drill into my... And of course, if you use the other tools, it's faster, like this drill. And there are actually tools so you can flatten and do all that stuff. I do spend a lot of time tunneling. That's why I was setting up there. I just want a good view. I'm like, I want that to be natural. In No Man's Sky, when you built and you did stuff like that, boy, I had stuff going up to the atmosphere, and that was fun. That kept me hours and hours and hours. Not as many as World of Warcraft. I got back into it last Christmas time. I was like, I can pay for it for a month. And I went back in, and I tried not the newest one, but the one before that, with the Aztec temples and all that. And it was all right, but I was like, they kept changing the levels, so it's like you got to, what was it? Not Burning Crusade. I want to say when you got the garrison, that one. Classic. I remember Classic. Actually, you got me into Classic, so. And then you could learn to fly. I still don't have flying for the most recent one. But I think I'm going back, especially if I'm going to be doing more of this stuff. Because, well, like I said, wintertime, not so much going on. And I don't see the problem being drugs. I think the problem being that no one can afford to be living anywhere. Gosh, that was a good idea. That's an interesting take on it. Because that was back when if you made enough gold, you could buy months. And with the garrison, I made a mint. Yeah, I just made so much money. And so I was able to buy ahead, like I bought a year's worth of subscription time with the gold I was making in the game. Yeah, see, but this is the thing. It's like, you say that, but like Brooklyn has trees. You know, I don't see it. I see the one dude with the beard who keeps mumbling to himself in the army coat, and he walks back and forth from Danielson to Brooklyn. But I don't think that's drugs. I think that's just, you know, people are odd. Silas isn't a druggie. He used to be a drunk. I don't know if he's cleaned up. I mean, but I don't see a lot of people like tweaking. Like if you look at like Philadelphia footage of people on the streets, that's a drug problem. Around here, it doesn't seem bad to me from what I've seen firsthand. Well, I mean, for everyone. I mean, the banks keep going, no, it's worth twice. It's worth twice as much. It's worth twice as much. They keep doing it. And everyone's going, well, no, we can't pay twice as much. It's not worth twice as much just because you say so. They keep doing that. That's my opinion. I know shit. Yeah. Well, I mean, but it was a good time. There was, I forget what the name of the island was during that period. I think that was Warlords. And you could go to this island and then, like, groups of 40 could battle each other. Well, and Putnam also actually has, like, local cops and stuff. But even that's not, you know, I'm not worried so much about people nodding off. I'm worried about people, like, losing it and then cutting each other up with machetes. And that seems more the tweaker stuff. I think poverty is the baseline for most of it. Again, my opinion, I know bullshit. But, and again, why am I defending Brooklyn/Danielson? I like it here. It's quiet. You can hear the crickets, even in winter. You know, it's beautiful during the spring and summer and even at the top of the fall. I mean, winter's garbage, but yeah, that's true too. I mean, we have a Killingly cop now, for what that's worth. I don't think I've ever actually interacted with him. I wonder if I could get him to interview. Go. Do you remember Max Headroom? That was a show where Edison Carter would run around with the camera and he'd try to fix the world's woes by exposing the corruption everywhere. And in Storyline, in Story World, it worked. And you would think that about people. Some people won't clean it up. Some people just leave it for somebody else to do. And that's a big majority of like. That's why I was real fond of the hippie movement when I was in with Desert Rain and all that stuff, because there was generally kind of like you clean up what you take out what you brought in, kind of be nice to the world around you. But there are a lot of those people who are just like, let it go. Yeah, someone else will pick it up. And the worst part about it is most of them were the girls. They're just like, not my problem. Someone else will take care of it for me. Speaking of cleaning it up, actually, I got to clean up my front yard. When it gets cold, I don't go out and do maintenance anymore. I just hide inside. That's not a bad idea, actually. Really? See, my first instinct is you write the stuff, and I want to go search for it, and then I realize, okay, no, you're still in game mode. I could give a shit about Empyrion. Just because, it's pretty. Andrew Callaghan. So now I got Conan, Andrew Callaghan. How did you know how to fix OBS? Do you use OBS too? Oh wait, what are you talking about? Of course, you used to stream, didn't you? For raids. Or probably still do stream with raids. Yeah, that's another thing that, I just said his name. TJ was doing. He was in Warcraft. He was streaming consistently. I think he still does on Twitch. See, it's all about the raids. And it was funny because I was watching his streams as he was doing it, and they would go in and they would, coordinate as a group, and they go, okay, we're going to do this. Okay, they're going to do this. And then at the end, they always ended up at the bank in Stormwind. And it was like, okay, who's getting this? Who's getting that? And I'm like, well, I think I want to say I did raids 6 or 7 years ago. But it didn't last long because the group didn't stay together very long. I'm surprised raids happen, actually. Anymore. Because people don't seem to, well, I don't know, I haven't done it. Not in a while. This is my first attempt at live streaming anything, ever, that I can think of. Although I have webcammed before, so I guess that's kind of the same thing. But not with the OBS and working with the software. I've been using DaVinci Resolve for editing, but that's not a switcher. And I've gotten actually pretty good with that. And I'd like to actually, I feel like I owe it to them. I should pay for the full version, and it's got so many bells and whistles. But I'm also I don't have a ton of money to spread around, so I've been like, well, if I ever make it big, or if I ever make it medium, well, then I can start paying for software and giving credit where it's due. Until then, it's hand to mouth. But I'm grateful I got food and food and beer, a little bit of marijuana, solid content. Danielson Daily. You know, it's funny because there was another fella who was, I forget his name. Another person I met from the long ago, and he said that he enjoyed watching the walkthroughs of Danielson and stuff like that. And I like it here, but I think most of the people here just don't, like, most people don't want to be on camera, which was something I learned early on. But you know, that's why I ended up doing the Faire again, because people were, you know, they don't mind being on camera. They were looking for a way to perform. And when I went down to the local, the new Thai restaurant, which was actually very tasty. And I talked to the owner there, and I was going to start doing more local pieces in that regard. But I got a little bit of resistance at the time, and I was like, well, I'm going with this is Kevin G Nicholson and Danielson with the double D. I prefer a perky, eh? But, you know, we all got our tastes. There's another thing I gotta... But that's not a bad idea, and I'll consider that moving forward, because the other dude had already kind of talked me into doing more local stuff. And I primarily do want to do local stuff. But the provincial adventurer, he's the one who does the food. So that's kind of covered. And then, like, the turtle does the explorers. And then there's a fitness guy local. See, but then it gets to the point where I'm going to have to go to the town meeting. And I've been. And boy, are they dry and pretentious. But it couldn't hurt to ask questions, I suppose. Keep that in my sights. I ain't doing it this winter, though. I ain't leaving the house if I don't have to. Yeah, I did learn about that legality. Like, so long as it's a public park, you can record anything. But I still don't like to get in people's faces like other YouTubers. Because you see that all the time where they're like, you know, trying to make the content by, you know, provoking reactions out of people. And I don't mind talking to people if they're interested in talking. But I'm not one to, like, I don't chase. Local park and show reviews. Oh, that's not a bad idea, though. Yeah, because everyone, you know, the couple that I did relatively well. Huh. See, lots of food for thought. So I'm guessing is that the stuff from my channel that you like? Or is there nothing on my channel that you like? Because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff up there. I've thrown the gauntlet pretty wide, thrown the net pretty wide in regards to what I've covered. But I guess if I were to break it down, what I got, Renaissance stuff, and then I got Danielson stuff, and then now I got video game stuff, and then I got music stuff, and I got comedy stuff. Oh, the comedy thing. Some, for a group of people that are trying to make people laugh, oh, well, you gotta admit, I do stuff. I'm always keeping busy. But I'm curious if anything hit, because you might know this already, but I'm gonna say it again. That my best doing the video that I did that's doing the best, that's done the best, 160,000 views, 160,000 views, and what is it? It's my freshly painted vagina. I don't understand it. I mean, I thought it was a chuckle, a juvenile chuckle at best. 160,000. But if I go by the popularity of like views and stuff like that, I'm like, people like the Strange Creek stuff. They like the Faire stuff, and a couple of the Danielsons got up there too, and surprisingly, even a couple of my albums, which was a surprise. I'm always surprised when people like the music that I do, because it's that Tangerine Dream out there sort of stuff. But I guess there's a small amount of people who watch or listen to it worldwide. It's the one thing about Spotify is that they got a good net, not quite the wide net that YouTube has, but they're paying me before YouTube is. If I keep going, if I can get enough watch hours, which is why I started live streaming in the first place, eventually I'll hit the monetization requirements and I'll start getting ad revenue. But I don't have enough standard traffic, and I don't have enough watch time. I got enough subscribers, and I got lucky because this last year I went from like 100 subscribers to 1,300 in a couple seasons. So I was stoked about that. I'm still stoked about that, but I didn't quite get to the monetization threshold that I was aiming for. Hence why I'm pivoting. Here's hoping. I like to think I'm relatively personable. I'm not too bitter. I'm a little bitter, but I ain't too bitter. And sometimes I'm funny. But even here, I'm kind of like self-censored a little bit. Obviously, these are not the 2000s anymore. I'm hoping I can get by on personality a little bit, but I'd also like to earn it. Like some of my most recent editing, I think, has been really on the nose, where I'm getting very good at that. I'm surprised who does come back, though. Hey, I'm glad you checked in. You just made my night. Man, we've managed to fix an audio problem. I got Conan to look forward to. Or to give a shot anyway, we'll see. And I mean, even if Maurice hadn't been swamped, I still would rather be doing this. Hey, the thing is when I first got into this, doing the live stuff, I'm like, well, I'll figure it out. But I don't know if it'll have any appeal. But I know I got games and I know I can set it up. And they say that it's good for watch time. And so, good. Glad people are stopping. Glad people are saying hello. look forward to a year from now, maybe having 10 or 15 people in a live feed, jibbing back and forth, maybe even coming up with stuff to do. And let me tell you something. I'm doing a movie again. I'm actually gonna do one, and it's gonna be good. Ha. A leadership role? You'll be in charge. Well, in charge of what? No, I'm kind of curious. What have you been doing? You said IT, so I assume networking job. Tech. Tech is the T, right? Or should we not be talking about this on public forum? See, that's the thing. I never quite know what the rules are. Not out to expose anyone. Not even out to expose myself. As hard as that is to believe. He said hard. 30 years a smoker. All right. Yeah, no, I don't have makeup ability. That was Steph's department, what she was makeup. I'm tech. Although, artistry, I'd like to consider myself an artist first. Well, my last name is on my channel. I'm out. I'm out of the closet, man. I am Kevin G Nicholson, and you want to shoot me? Shoot me. If I am to be damned, I will be damned for what I truly am. It's a Captain Picard quote, and I'm sticking by it. You're going to have to bring that board game over here so I can see what you're referring to. Huh. The movies of the past. I never did movies in the past. I attempted to do a couple movies. I attempted the first one, which actually loosely came together to kind of tell a story, and it was wretched. And then the one you know about was Silver Tree, and that was the one that me and Steph were trying to piece together, where we kept losing leads. And in hindsight, I kind of don't blame them. But I have so much of that stuff that I need to, that stuff is gold now. All of that raw footage I have in tapes, but I don't have a tape player for the mini DV tapes anymore. Excuse me. I still own the camera, but it doesn't work. But some of that stuff, even just putting it up raw, I'm sure people would devour that now. Because it's, now it's archive material. It's what? It's 2023. We're talking 23 years old, that footage. And some of the performances weren't bad. But I'm obviously not done. I'm making more stuff. My recent, the other reason I was involved with the Ren Faire is I'm hoping I can get some of those actors on board to do skits with me, a la Monty Python-esque. Same thing with Sparky and the comedy and stuff like that. And so I've been poking around with scripts, and obviously I can write, but had my head so thoroughly in, recently my last album, but in YouTube, And so that's where a lot of my focus has been. But now I'm like, well, I got to start shifting. And I'll keep live streaming throughout the winter, but I'm going to be writing, and then I'm going to be doing music. And I want to do a comedy Christmas song called Get Off My Dick, It's Christmas. Well, you're just going to have to visit at this point. I'm going to have to take a look at this firsthand. So that means you're going to have to, for someone who lives 4 minutes up the road, you're going to have to slot like 90 minutes of it to hang out here. See, we should chat about this. And I mean, this is fine. This is actually giving me watch time, but I mean, no, I'd be curious. And that's on my agenda, is to digitize those videotapes. Some of it, oh God. I mean, even the bad stuff is good. I mean, it's funny that it would go full circle like that. See, that's the other reason I need to reconnect with TJ. He's got a player. He's got a mini DV tape player. And I'm sure I can find some sort of dongle to get that footage into my machine. So I need an external hard drive and a dongle and that camera, or a camera. Next time I go to Salvation Army. Yeah, you know, I wish I had the wisdom 23 years ago. But still, what I captured was, it's definitely, we looked at some of the tapes. It looks beautiful quality-wise, like the resolution and everything like that. And some of it, it's like, even if I were just to put it up raw, people would eat it alive now, because it's novel. There's nothing like it. And some of it actually has, you know, acting and merit. And I mean, there was a story. Hell, if I could actually even tell the story. Someone once said I should do it with hand puppets. And maybe that's where I could fill in. You can have, like, sketches in between. But I know something new is on the horizon. And I'm excited to get to the spring. I mean, this will keep me VHS player with a mini VHS adapter. That's video to USB dongle. We're not talking about mini VHS. We're talking about mini DV. Or is it? No, it's mini DV. You know what the tapes I'm talking about. There's a difference. I can do VHS now. And actually, that was on my agenda, too. I was going to do... you remember Farscape? I don't know if that was up your alley or not, but it was a sci-fi show from around that same time. And I just watched it again recently, and I'm like, wow, this is really good. And I figured I would do some, not reviews so much, but watch-throughs and reactions and that sort of thing. I'm still working on the legality of that, because there's only so much you can air before they start copyrighting you, but... It's not, you're correct. They do make a mini DV adapter. But in order to play back the mini DV tapes, I need a mini DV player. That's where I'm lacking. That's why I need TJ. TJ, if you hear this, I need you. I need that device. Farscape was really well done. Like, I watched it again, and I didn't realize it. I got right back into it because I had spent enough time away. You know how you come back to something like 10 years later and you're like, oh, I forgot how good this was. That was one of those experiences, and I figured I could do that and use OBS and kind of cut clips in and stuff like that. But I'm still getting a feel of it. I guess I'll be getting a feel of it for my whole life. But I'm going to keep working at it. And until this summer, we'll see how it works. And Sydney, Sebastian, if you're watching, or if you watch this ever, you should get in touch with me. And you should be in my next production. See, I forgot other people are going to watch this later on. Maybe not a lot, but someone probably will. I probably will. Despite the fact there's nothing going on. They're watching the sunrise and set on the screen over here. Get at least to the top of the hill if you're going to watch the sunrise. I've abandoned all hope of building this base on stream. Oh yeah. I noticed the crickets are gone, and now you can hear birds chirping. I gotta respect the people who, that's an attention to detail. Oh, the sun's up, birds will be chirping. You don't see a bird anywhere. Wow, this is good. We've been going for a while. And if my audio's good, then that's it. Last hurdle for that. VHS. As you can see. No, it doesn't do that. You're thinking of, there are two different things. There's mini VHS, and then there's mini DV. I ain't touching my settings ever again. Because I remember the VHS, you could get a VHS micro, and they had the little tiny ones, but it was just shorter. But no, mini DV was like, you know what? Yeah. Oh, you hear my bones crack? We got a cable. I'm in Wire City back here. These are my those mini DV tapes. Silver Tree production clips, cast readings, set construction, tree surfacing, scene blocking, moonlit set. Come on, gold. But I need the camera to play it. And that technology is 20 years behind. 20 years ago. Like I said, I still got the camera, but it doesn't play. It doesn't record anymore. It still makes noise. So did you transfer your wedding online? Or digitally? I do, but again, it doesn't play back. Otherwise, I would have had that done already. Remember that big Canon? No, it doesn't do playback. That was like a $3,500 camera back in the day, the Canon XL1S, and that's what those were shot on. But it gummed up. Oh God, I want to say a decade ago, a little more than a decade ago. Oh yeah, you would. That's the other thing. I got good stuff on some of those tapes. You had such promise. Come on, you gotta hand it to me. Come on. Game of Thrones. That's what Silvertree was supposed to be before Game of Thrones. I mean, I wasn't killing characters every... Boy, if I would have had the forethought to kill all my characters early. I only killed 2. Oh, come on by, I'll show you. Some of it's art. Life is a musical. And that's the other thing. Is I've kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? So the last 7 years, I've been downplaying that aspect. Everyone's getting canceled left, right, and center. I'm like, oh, maybe now's not the time to go hog wild. Although, I only got like another decade and a half to live, so that's an estimation. It's not like I've been given a diagnosis. But I figure, yeah. It's tough finding them. And when you can find them, they're expensive if they work. But, I mean, that's the thing. And TJ's got it, and it works good. And the playback was awesome. So I'm thinking Providence, not the city. But, well, whatever. If I can get that whole box. Now let's say this. 5, 10, 12. There's at least 30 tapes right there alone. All chronologically marked and just ready to go. But I couldn't have done anything with it 20 years ago because it's not complete. It's not, the story isn't complete. But now in bits, hell, shorts, 30 seconds at a time. Benny's. That was sad. I mean, I was never a big Benny's fan when it was still in business, but that's where I got my art supplies sometimes. Well, I got my wire. I got to look at Salvation Armies and stuff like that. Sometimes they have old ones that work. Yeah, that's how I'm doing it with this camera. It's like a little Sony CRX, I think. Not high tech. It only cost me couple hundred bucks, and that was a decade ago. Served me well though. Looks pretty good. I wish I had this technology 20 years ago. Yeah, I would say I'm not up to your capabilities tech-wise. When's the last time you streamed? And I assume that's in game. You haven't done it to YouTube, have you? Do you have a channel on YouTube? I didn't even ask. I don't know. Smoky, smoky. Let me tell you, with this camera here, I had it, and I was like, okay, I'll just stream with that camera. Ended up taking me longer and putting more effort into getting this camera hooked in than it would have been just to buy a $10 webcam and just plug it in. So you do have a channel, if you've uploaded content to it. I think there are sites that allow you to put your content out to multiple stream sites at once. Well, of course. How am I not subscribed then? You know what? As lovely as this pastoral. Let's save that. And then, all right. This might crash everything, so let's see if I can keep going. I'm going to try to back out of here. Because it seems to me that I can actually see if I can exit. If it gives me problems. That's something that, it's funny that you would say that. And I didn't even contemplate that you might have a YouTube channel until this moment. But I have been looking around to see, all right, who are the most YouTube people in the local area? And that's not an easy search to make, and I've done it a couple of times. Hey, it did work. All right. So what I'm going to do is I will float that over to screen 1 and go like that. Did I lose my... No, I didn't lose my audio, and I'm still going. All right. Let's go to window. How about that? Looks like it worked. Do you see what I see? All right. That does just the one window. Nope. All right, good. Oh, but I lost you on that screen. Diablo. All right, that was a fun run. I haven't done the recent ones. No, excuse me. But that was, all right. Well, let's see. There's a lot of ZIO TVs. Well, there's 2 ZIO TVs. One's with an eagle. And then one's with... No, that looks like a foreign language. Maybe that? Oh, all right. Underscore. The underscore. It's like the G. If you look up Kevin G Nicholson, it'll come right up.
10k 100 robot có ngay ở pokerobot.vn. Có luôn vòng quay nhân phẩm và rất là nhiều loại tài khoản Blockfoot random giá siêu rẻ mà còn được giảm giá nữa chứ. Đừng quên nhập ngay mã có Geocard tại pokerobot.
That looks more likely. Is that you? I have to keep switching back and forth. Is that it? I gotta keep swapping back and forth. Oh. Yeah, so I'm there. All right, I gotta somehow... all right, James, give me... never, I can do this on my own. How do I open up YouTube on the second screen? Because I can't read the chat. All right, I'm going to do that. And I'll close that up. And then I can open the second stream, right? Chrome, right? Yeah, second one. And then go over there. And there we go. I should do that backwards, though. This has turned into something entirely different. All right. And then, oh, wrong one. That one. There we go. And I'm gonna go watching that girl, and she's actually pretty clever in the way that she's putting stuff together. Right? Bear with me here. Well, I was there. How about we'll just do... Now I'm struggling. I was there. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. All right, good. Even better. Videos, and you said you did it. Doing just as well as I have. That looks familiar. And 76 subscribers. Oh. And your stats. Yeah. Look at you. 32 gigabytes of RAM. Aren't I the poor cousin? 8 core. Got CPU envy going on here. Oh, you're not? Oh, you're seeing. Oh. Yeah, all right. Give me a second here. I need to do. There. Select the properties. That. There we go. Takes me a second on these. 64. Wow. So what I forget what I'm running at. It's low though. I think I have 8. But I got a slot. I got an open slot, but I think it's gonna cost a couple $100. Does that sound about right to you? What, DDR4, DDR5? I think it's DDR5 now. All right, did I do the spread? Thought I did the spread. You said there you go. So no, yeah. I keep looking into the studio window, thinking that's what's going up real time, when actually it's the delay, and that's been screwing with my brain. Well, no, that's what it says down here. It says memory 32 gigabytes of RAM, 31.9 usable. Jeez. Well, lets me know that I'm going, I guess. And that's where the chat is, so I have to keep switching back and forth into the chat. So you've improved since then. You've upgraded. You've been assimilated to a higher gig point. So didn't you say that you had some Conan footage up here, or did I read that wrong? Although that's WoW I'm looking at, right? Looks like WoW. Yeah, all right, I'll take a look here. Let's go back. Is it in the videos or in the streaming? I'm going to assume videos. This is it. It has a Conan-ish look. Yeah.
Greetings.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
Goodbye.
Hi. You got it. On it. Goodbye.
Meat. So you built the environment, is what you're saying? Is you built the stairs and the layout? So you made the NPCs too. Meaning you dressed them? Oh, what's that? Oh, you chose skin tone and stuff. And how detailed can you get?
Greetings. Okay,
Yeah, got it.
Goodbye.
Hi.
Don't you need a speaking role to have a cameo?
I'm okay.
Not
Goodbye.
sure what the rules are. I mean, if you make an appearance and you're actually seen. Still, it's a nice looking game. Now I'm looking for an NPC in particular. That one. Yeah, all right.
Greetings. Okay,
Yeah, got it.
Too
Goodbye.
much of that.
Hi.
3 frames. 3 frames of a cameo.
You got it. I'm okay. Goodbye.
So this is sandbox like, because you got to build the whole arena. I assume you have to kill people for resources and stuff. Well, I hope those are pasties rather than an infectious disease. So was this... I assume this is still available, or do you have a crack, or is this a system? I assume this is PC. It's sweet you guys fight together against other people rather than each other. That's where I always made my... No, no, I don't.
Ultra healing fragrance free. Save
no
48.
commercials. Ew. There we go. I assume this game is a couple years old. So, it should be pretty cheap. The family that games together stays together. Oh, good on you, man. You chose wisely. I chose poorly. Oh, you got quite a bit. How many you got? 86 videos. Wow. Even looking at this stuff takes me back. Still, it counts. What's your most popular one? That's a wide camera angle. And yet, is that why it did well? Because someone yoinked? See, now watching this, it makes you want to go back into WoW again. Which, yeah, I think that's probably gonna happen. What was it?
So the Quel'Serrar quest drops, which is only good for a paladin or a warrior. And this guy rolls need on it, Grismold. Won't give it to me, the warrior, the tank, for the Quel'Serrar sword. Refuses to even take 100 gold for it. Esper. Let's remember this.
So, this is a character being a douchebag, is what it was. No. It's funny because this kid interviewed me. I know that's coming. I don't want to see it early. Ooh, I guess you get to see what I see. Because they say that everyone's screen is different, that we all see different stuff. I spend a lot of my time saying, do not recommend channel. If it's over like 1 million views, I don't want to look at it. If it comes from Forbes, I don't want to look at it. If it comes from any of the major networks, I don't want to look at it. Oh, have you seen those guys, though? Red Letter Media? They are so funny. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you get a different perspective. And it also probably means because you're not, they wouldn't be terribly interested in most of the stuff that I'm looking at. This guy was very personable. I haven't done any of the, I keep looking at how to grow your YouTube channel and how to do this and how to do that. A lot of how-tos. And of course, DaVinci Resolve. But I've been very reluctant to touch AI because I don't want to like produce stuff via the algorithm. I want to do it like because I'm an artist, not because a computer told me to do it or did it. That guy, Robert Murray Smith, he can make electricity out of anything. Baseline. He's freaking brilliant. Anyway, and these guys, the Red Letter Media people, if you want to laugh, oh God, they're so funny. Oh, and Daniel Thrasher, he's hysterical too. Here I am giving recommendations. So this has been Kevin Nicholson recommending YouTube channels to look at aside from him. Counterproductive. Really? It's after midnight. I'm amazed. This is the longest stream I've done. And I feel pretty good about that. I feel like this has been not only a rebonding experience for us, my friend. I've learned something here today. I've learned that I should drink faster. As you can tell, there's a lot of Doctor Who stuff in here. I saw the first episode. I don't know if you're into that. I just saw the first episode of him coming back today. And it was entertaining, but there were like 2 or 3 parts where I was just like, fuck woke. But still. I will not bow to the masses. See, there's not bowing to the masses, and then there's reading the room. And I don't know how much you saw, but I was doing stand-up for a while. And it's important when you're in a room to read the room. And that means when you tell them jokes, you're seeing how they land. And it's not necessarily bowing to masses if you're just, you're going in the direction that you want to go. You're keeping the frame where you want to keep it and not letting anyone else change the frame. And that seems to be but in regards to content, every time I read, every time I read, every time I watch one of those, well, how to improve your YouTube channel, they keep going, narrow down on your niche, narrow down on your niche. I don't have a friggin' niche. It's like art, comedy, acting, and, music. That's a big, huge thing that's not a niche, that's a huge section. And so I've been trying to like go, okay, well, where do I fit in this? And, and ultimately, I mean, I'm not working full time for money on YouTube, but wouldn't it be nice if I could kind of tack into a direction that we all like? But in the end, they're probably going to get Silvertree cut up into bits in a year's time. And that's fine, because some of it, come on, I was ahead of my time. The will, but not the way. And the work. I put a lot of work into all this stuff. As I'm sure you have. You have to work in order to get your stuff working. Even that channel that I just browsed through. It takes time to set that up. It takes time to, okay, you have to make a decision. I'm going to record now. I'm not going to record now. I'm just going to play. And as I was watching a lot of those how-to YouTube videos that were like, well, just, if you can actually just record what you're actually doing, what you would be doing normally, then you should do that. That's kind of part of the road to being monetized. And that's kind of why I'm in here talking to you right now, is because I was like, well, it's the winter time. Let's game a little bit and see if we can get any traction in this way. And I'm kind of surprised that even doing this on a limited level is getting a response. Because if you're who cares what games I'm playing? But there are people out there who love to do nothing but watch other people play games, I guess. And the ASMR stuff, hey, listen to me. You hear that? You hear that? That's my arm hair. There are people who just listen to that. Isn't that a weird thing? Listen to me chew peanut butter for 2 hours. Some people make money off that, though. It's not quite my route. I'd rather actually... But you know what it is, though, don't you? Yeah, it's a little bit... It gives you goosebumps. Yeah. Oh, wait. Wait, you gotta see this. You just said that. Swear to God. All right. Yeah, I want you to see this. Yeah, I don't know if you can read that or not. It might be backwards. This is my deadly fart jar. Purchase bathwater. Ew. No, that was supposed to be a prop for a bit that I was doing, the deadly fart jar. But it didn't play as well on camera, so. But it still made me laugh. just bathwater. See? I mean, I try not to judge, but and that's ASMIR QRSTUV. It makes me shiver. God. You know, and hygiene is important. Oh, I got limits. My limits have been reeled in. Really reeled in. The last girl I dated, it was just, ugh. Hygiene is important. It's something that'll kill a relationship. There we go. See, this is so much better than being at a bar. I did, in March, I did a superhero costume contest and comedy show. And the comedy show went off pretty well, but no one showed up in costumes, so the contest part didn't happen. And then I ended up doing a couple, like a karaoke night after that, and it was a disaster. Meaning, I was up, I was functional, but no one was in it. No one was into it, and it was just like, no one wanted me to be there, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Karaoke DJing, I mean, if I'm sure you're making more, but I was getting like $100 a night for like 4 or 5 hours of work. And I was like, okay, so that's $20 an hour. That ain't too bad. But God, people are terrible, especially after drinking. If I can help it, I will never do that again. I'd rather bow to the YouTube masses. No, I wouldn't, but I will tack in a direction that rewards me. Yeah. I don't want to go anywhere where people don't want me. If people want me, you know what I'm saying? I want to be where people want me to be around. Where people appreciate me for what I bring to the table. Sometimes that's significant. See, and you deserve it. You've been a good guy. You know, we all gotta put our nose to the grindstone for a little bit. If you're willing to do that and still be a man of honor, again, more power to you. And there's nothing wrong with picking things up and putting them down. I've done that numerous times. But yeah, it's nice to be appreciated for your skills and for your intelligence rather than your ability to manipulate objects, which I can do fine, but rather do this stuff. And who knows? You know, if ever comes a time when you see me online and there's 10 people in here, I probably just got monetized just from that. I really am. I'm so on the cusp. And I'm already getting monthly income from Spotify from my albums. And I figured if I can get this, maybe I could come close to having a living wage. Because, you know, people like to be alive. I'd like to get a stick of RAM. One stick, man. DDR5. It's up to DDR5, right? I think I can go up to, what, 32? 30. I think my max is 32. So you're way past me, but I'm sure another stick would help. Certainly would help with Empyrion. And yeah, I'm gonna do a month of Warcraft, I think. You can always chime in and add an additional follower. Not sure what you're implying there. I don't have any. See, without visual cues and body language. It's so funny because you say an additional follower. It's like, you mean a subscriber or an additional participant? I love participants. It's the thing. Everyone should just want to have a good time. Want drama? Let's have a couple laughs. Well, it warns me at the top when I'm opening the program that my memory is the problem. And I think my megahertz is all right. I'm sure it's not up to your standards, but let's take a look. I don't think that'll show up on my computer, right? This PC. Properties. 2.9 gigahertz. I don't even know what M2 is. But I'm at 3.9 gigahertz, and that doesn't, again, yeah, that's my processor. Oh, oops, wrong thing. No, other one. What's the program? The program is CPU-Z. Yeah, sure. I wonder if I can let you see that. Yeah, you could probably see that. So, all right. Yeah, I got 8 gigabytes, DDR4. What does it say? I'm working 6 gigabytes on my video card. Is that showing me anything about that? But it's not terrible. Right. I'm thinking if I can up, I should be able to put 16 in each port. So I should be able to get up to 32. But even if not, even 16 would be better than I'm at now. All right, go back there. That's YouTube. And then Let's go. Let's do that. All right, rock on. All right. Back to studio. I don't want to be in studio. There we go. Ew. Yeah, I only got 2 slots though. But I think I can do up to I think I can do 16 in each slot. I have to double check my manual, but anything I can do. I mean, it was a Walmart computer, and granted, I paid a grand, like $1,200 for it a couple of years ago. But still, I mean, I don't feel. I feel like it's doing what I wanted it to do. Ooh, excuse me. But again, that's all that's money dependent, as I'm sure you know. Although you're a successful man. Wife, family, managed to keep it all afloat. Kudos to you, sir. So, at some point, you're going to have to actually come here. You're going to have to show me that videotape game. Yeah. My dad used to say something. You know, my dad did very well for himself. He used to say, the more things you own, the more things own you. I own nothing except for this little tiny system. I don't even have a car anymore. My car bit the dust a couple months ago. Well, see, that's the thing. It never seems to calm down. It always seems to calm up. Like prices always go up. Always, everyone's always doubling the price. And it's like, if you don't have any sort of, it's stability is boring, and you want boring. It's like everyone's charging way to, every house you see around you has been paid for 1 billion times, well, not 1 billion times, but at least a few times over, because people have lived in them for like 30 years before that, 30 years before that. If you build your own house, yeah, someone hasn't lived in it, but you still have maintenance. That stuff needs to be. And the banks just go, nah, it's worth $200 billion. And now you got to pay taxes on it at $200 billion. You might be better off doing what you're doing. But I understand wanting to have your stake, your claim, a piece of land I can call home, far and away. This is my land by right. Yeah. See, that's another. There's so many things I shouldn't say on live stream. I want to be nice to everybody, but I don't want to be so nice to everybody that they can live in my house. So, you know. And I want to go back to the fact I'm very grateful that I have what I have. I have beer to drink, a cigarette in hand, a little weed for the morning. I'm not starving. I'm not sick. I watched a lot of people die in the last decade. And not all of them were pretty. I mean, no death is pretty, but... And it makes you grateful for what you do have in the moment. And I'm very glad I'm still here in the moment. This has been fun. It's been an interactive experience instead of me talking at a camera. But it's funny because I've always sidestepped anything Bombera related. What's the word you used? Complacent? I'm pretty complacent. It's like Nirvana. It's like limbo. It's like, it's not great, it's not terrible. When I'm happy, it's in, status quo. I'd like things to get better. I'd like to have more laughter than tears, but I ain't doing too bad. And a lot of that joy, for me, has been in, believe it or not, my ability to kind of like back off and not self-isolate and just go, you know what, I needed to be alone for a while. Because believe it or not, my friend, I was sought after for quite some time by quite a few people. But that doesn't mean they were all good actors. And I don't mean that in a performance state. They were pretty at the beginning, and then they were terrible at the end. Yeah, well, I would rather be happy than miserable. I'd rather be happy than right. Isn't that the Hitchhiker's Guide? I'd rather be happy than right any day. Although, would I exchange my intelligence for ignorance? And that's the philosophy of it. Oh, excuse me. That's the guess of it. I have this. See what that is? It's not a Dalek eye. It's the simple things in life you treasure. No. I've never owned one. I won't. I'm such a purist in some ways for someone who was so, what's a good PC word for it? Imaginative? Yeah. Well, for me, that's plenty of space. No, actually, there's a story about this little thing. This is one of those super, high-powered. There we go. But I got this so I could actually look around my house because I couldn't find my tie. I'm sure you've seen my tie, but if you haven't seen my tie, my bow tie. I love my bow tie. This bow tie gives me superpowers. And so I couldn't find it for the life of me. It was hanging on, hanging over my jacket. But for some reason, I forgot which jacket I hung it on, and so I went crazy looking for it. And I couldn't see. So I got this flashlight. See, really? No, that's what it was. And what I discovered is I didn't find my tie, but I found my apartment was completely filled with spider webs. And so then I went on an obsessive compulsive disorder vacuuming spree with this flashlight, and there are no spider webs in my house because I use this to vacuum every inch of it. And boy, did it need it. It was so now that's how I click out. Ooh. Oh, and now it's broken. Oh, huh. If I could find my neighbor's tie. The thing is, I have a thing called "you don't shit where you eat." My neighbor's cute. But no, it stays in the house. But it could. And, dummy, I tried to use it to read something. Like there was a manual. And I'm like, okay, I'll just point the flashlight at it and I'll read the manual. Well, dumbass, you're still reflecting 7,000 lumens at your eyes. I almost went blind. I won't do that again. Do I? Who's talking to me? I can't see anybody. Yeah, I like having that. You know, some people have mace, other people have weapons. I don't want to like physically hurt anybody, but I can blind them if they come at me. Just a blinding flash. The light will stop you. My piety knows no. You watched Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm talking about. Gandalf and Saruman. All right. Still, for like $30, damn good flashlight. And I wasn't kidding about the spider webs. And now, it's been a good night. I feel like now that they have different tabs, I filled them all out. And this is still going on now. And you are currently watching. And I look goofy. Yeah, it's fine. It's rechargeable. I haven't run it out yet. Excuse me. But I've used it. Actually, I've been using it. It's been handy for when I cook because I have shitty lighting in my kitchen. So I just put it on its heel and face it towards the ceiling, and there's enough backlash to where I can actually see what I'm cooking. And same thing when I'm doing dishes and stuff like that, because I need electrical work on my kitchen. So rather than actually do that, super power flashlight, and it works. put it in my deadly fart jar, stick it in, and do the job I need to do. But yeah, it should be, it goes for a good hour at full intensity and then starts to taper off after that. And I haven't pushed it. I wonder if that would work. I'm going to put a little bat on it. The Kev symbol. Oh no, I'll just do the star. I'll do the, it'll be a negative. Flashes in the sky. I know you're 4 minutes away, but let's say, you say 4 minutes away. That's assuming at 30 miles an hour, so that would mean 2 miles. That's my guesstimation. I'm going to go East Killingly. Yeah. It's the black stripe. Oh. I got to turn off my dings. So what's tomorrow, Sunday? I got food planned, but I have nothing else planned. So if you can find yourself 90 minutes to come hang out, you've been here before, you know where I live. You're right, today technically is Sunday. I'm lagging like my stream. We've been at this for a while. I can't believe we've had a conversation like this. I hate doing this generally. Because again, you can't see body language, you can't see nuance. But it's been neat, and it's been, you know, kind of moving back and forth. How late do you stay up? I want to say streaming, but I know that's not right. But you're generally gaming. Most of the time you're on, well, you were on WoW, Blizzard, and I would see you on the right-hand side, which is why I clicked it. So you want to go to bed. Well, I don't envy you that, because I ain't going anywhere at 6 a.m. What are you playing on Steam? What are you doing now? Old Roots. I feel I need further explanation on Old Roots. Oh. I was doing that for a little bit. Well, good. See, that's nice. It's like a nostalgic playing. But still, I appreciate the fact that you took some time to hang out with me for a little bit. You helped me with my sound problems. We were able to kind of like, I subscribed to your channel, for what good that is. And I get to show you my blinding fleshlight. See, I never figured I would reconnect with people over the live stream. So this was kind of nice. Yeah, anything you would suggest on YouTube in regards to... Oh, hey. Well, I'm sure it's going to be more entertaining as time goes on, but again, you came in just at the right time. It's just like, okay, I get to fix the audio and iron out a couple wrinkles. Eventually, there is stuff going to be going on. Well, you know me. I keep moving. Oh, there will be a lot more content. And I'm not even just talking about these Silver Tree tapes. I'll find a way. If I manage to stay alive, the stuff is going out. Within reason, of course. Have to hedge my bets. Have to be on the up and up. Don't want to get canceled. Steve Hofstetter. That sounds familiar. And I saw the Conan game. Is everyone pasted in the Conan game? I feel I should have natural colored nipples in my video games. Such a silly thing to say. A friend of mine got me to play a hunting game. It was like a deer hunting game. And I felt bad because it was like I'm shooting a photonic deer. It's not a real deer. Johnny Harris. I was shocked. I was having empathy for a deer that didn't actually exist. All right. So I'll be living in Conanville for 10 minutes a day. See, I got a lot of stuff to look at now. You know, it's funny. It didn't even occur to me until you said that. I don't consider myself a hunter. No, wait. I do consider myself a hunter. I do not consider myself a predator. There's a difference between the two. I'm going to have to note that personally to myself. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, if I'm not going to eat it, it's kind of like real life. I don't want to kill it unless I'm going to eat it. And the only reason I would want to eat it is if it was baseline dystopian survival sort of thing. And I hope I don't get there. I'd rather keep doing videos and maybe making people laugh. Maybe. And boobies. I'm a simple man. Life is like a box of chocolates. Yeah, yeah. I agree with my earlier statement. Hunter, yes. Predator, no. And I do need sustenance. And take what you will from that. Say, we're gonna have to hang out sometime soon. And actually be able to, like, hang out and chat. Hey, have you actually heard any of my music on the platforms by any chance? I mean, I assume you're hearing a little now, but... Mr. Ballin. Oh, well, see, that's awesome. Thanks. Every little bit helps, man. Some of it ain't too bad. Some of it's actually bouncy. There are like 2 or 3 on the next album that are, you know, if it makes me laugh or if it makes me start to bounce, then I'm all right on that. But I don't get much feedback, so I have to ask. Storytelling Darks. See, I got stuff to look forward to. See, this is great. I got stuff that I haven't even contemplated. This is why human interaction is important. Because literally, since the Ren Fair shut down, I've been here. And it's all right. Like I said, I'm self-amused, and so, but oh God, it's nice to be able to get, hey, why don't you look at this? Why don't you look at that? And again, Red Letter Media. If you, yeah, I think you'd like that sense of humor. If it doesn't make you laugh, I'd be surprised. Laughter's my favorite drug. Wow. Ooh. All right, I just got dinged. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me, man. You've helped me out. You've given me stuff to look forward to and to check out. I think I'm going to close this down, and I'm going to get myself ready for the nights. I am an old man now, you know. I'm not dead yet. I still got a decade and a half, I said. Yeah, no, it was fun. But no, we got to make some time. We got to come down here and like chill. And I'll behave, I promise. But you have yourself a good night. All right. Thanks, dude. I'll talk to you later.